A beloved police officer is found dead in the snow. His girlfriend, a respected professor, is accused of running him over in a jealous rage. But what if she didn't do it? What if the real story was buried? Not by snow, but by those who were sworn to protect the truth. This is the baffling case of Karen Reed, a case filled with missing evidence, powerful connections, and a verdict that stunned the nation. Karen Reed, born in October 1977 in Virginia, was brilliant, ambitious, and successful. With a degree in economics and finance, she worked as a financial analyst and taught at Bentley University. John O'Keefe, a Massachusetts native and decorated officer with the Boston Police Department, was equally impressive, loyal, dedicated, and a guardian to his orphaned niece and nephew. Their relationship was passionate but rocky, marked by years of on-and-off moments. By early 2022, the two were living together in Canton, Mass. On January 28, 2022, Karen and John went out drinking with friends. Witnesses say they were laughing, planning a ski trip. Nothing seemed off. Around 11 p.m., they left for a party at the home of John's friend Brian Albert, a fellow officer. What happened next would change everything. Karen says they argued in the car. John insisted on going in. She drove off, angry. But when he didn't return home, and after 50 unanswered calls, panic set in. At 6 a.m., with help from a friend and John's niece, Karen drove back toward the Albert home. Suddenly, she stopped the SUV, jumped out, and ran toward a snowbank, and began digging. There, under a blanket of ice and snow, was John O'Keefe, unresponsive. She screamed. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. John's injuries were strange: a broken nose, bruising on the face, a fractured skull, but no major external wounds, consistent with being hit by a vehicle. Also, strange punctures on his arm, possibly dog bites. The autopsy listed the cause of death as head trauma and exposure to cold. Karen was arrested. The police claimed she ran him over, possibly while intoxicated. Then, the case took a strange turn. Days later, police found broken taillight pieces from Karen's SUV near John's body. Despite having already searched that spot in detail, Karen said she'd damaged the taillight later while backing into John's car. There was surveillance footage and witnesses backing this up. Still, the evidence was added to the case. The Albert party was full of people: cops, attorneys, insiders. Yet strangely, none of the guests were interviewed. Not at first. No search warrant was issued for the house. Weeks passed before anyone was questioned, and when they were, no one remembered anything. Some had bruised knuckles, but no explanation. Remember those strange wounds on John's arm? An independent forensic expert said they looked like dog bites. The Alberts owned a large, aggressive German Shepherd, but when the defense tried to test the dog, it had mysteriously escaped and was never found. Was it a coincidence? Or One key piece of evidence was a Google search found on Karen's phone. How long to die in the cold? Authorities said she searched it at 2:30 a.m. Proof of guilt. Karen claimed her niece typed it at 5 a.m. while they were looking for John. But why was the search history deleted? Who was hiding what? In April 2024, Karen Reed went on trial. The prosecution said she struck John with her SUV and left him to die. They relied on the taillight shards, her search history, and inconsistencies in her story. But the defense argued the real story was being hidden by the very people John trusted. They said he was beaten inside the house and dumped outside. From leaf blowers destroying evidence to blood collected in a used plastic cup, the investigation was full of blunders. A snowplow driver testified that nothing was in the driveway at 2:30 a.m., but 30 minutes later, the Albert family's SUV was suddenly outside. The timeline didn't add up. In June 2025, the jury delivered their verdict. Karen Reed was found not guilty of second-degree manslaughter. She was acquitted on all major charges, serving only probation for driving under the influence. The courtroom erupted. Some wept. Others demanded answers. The truth, if there is one, may have died with John O'Keefe. Was Karen Reed a killer, or a scapegoat in a cover-up that involved powerful people? One thing's clear: the full truth of that snowy night remains buried. Thank you for watching. If you want more gripping true crime stories, hit like, subscribe, and let me know your theories in the comments. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.